Hi, I'm Zuby from Magic with Zuby, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network. Just like the show you're listening to now, the opinions expressed are those of each individual host. Check out all other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the live episode, 274 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, recorded live on Sunday, August 20th, 2017. We're here to talk all about the jellies today.
Meat jelly.
Meat jelly.
Ew. No.
So,
Ew.
we do have the full crew
We
today.
finally found something that makes Willie grossed out. Wow.
I know.
I'm gonna just eat spam on the camera all day.
Oh.
Nom.
Why don't you puree it to a spread and put it on some crackers or something? Oh,
That
God.
sounds delicious.
With some sardines.
Spam on crackers? Fuck yeah. Let's do
With
it.
some sardines. Yeah.
So like I was saying, we
Yeah,
do have the full
disgusting.
crew today. I'm Chris. Joining me today, as per usual, the one, the only, Willie D. Nelson.
Whoop, whoop.
Woot woot indeed. And of course, our local artist, one, Anthony Bachman.
Meat jelly.
Wait, local?
Local, well, internet local. I don't know. Give me a break.
What's
I'm
internet
local to where
local?
I live local.
Yeah, there we go. And finally, returning to the land of the camera, one Naki.
Oh no, you can see my face. I'm gonna forget that I'm on camera again and
Yep.
pick my nose or something. Or you'll continue to see your boyfriend crawl across the floor.
And Suncast will make a gif of it.
Well, Suncast is not watching the video stream today. But
That
hey,
doesn't
any
matter.
of you who are
He's
watching,
always watching.
any of you who are watching on Twitch, if there is some funny nose picking, don't forget you can hit that little clip button in the bottom right hand corner of Twitch, and it'll let you clip it out.
I'm gonna forget.
So if
other-
Naki starts digging for nose gold, that's your job.
Are we still talking about this?
What do you want to talk about, Willie? You said you had a story for us.
So, I have another question. I'm probably going to seem really stupid for this, but is there any other reason that you should not look at the solar eclipse other than you shouldn't just look at the sun? Is there another reason why you shouldn't look at this?
So you'll burn your retinas out.
yeah.
Why? I've never. Is there for what?
So it gets dark, right? And it's
Uh-huh.
when you walk into a bright room after sitting in the dark, right? That's why movie theaters just they slowly turn back on the lights. They don't just go bam lights, right? Same thing is going to happen here, where it's going to be real dark. So you're going to be like, cool. Oh God, my eyes, because it's going to move right away from the sun, right? It's only going to last for a few seconds or minutes or whatever, but.
I mean, does no one ever just glance up? Oh, there's the sun.
So
My
there's a
eyes aren't
difference.
burned out.
There's a difference between glancing up and there's a difference between people I want to see the eclipse and stare at the sun. Now,
Yeah.
I am not a doctor. You could probably get away with a quick look up for half a second, look back down. And if that's all you did, you'd probably be okay. Now, if you're I want to see this shit and stared at it for 30 seconds, you're going to burn your retinas out.
You've never
And
looked at
there's
the sun
actually
for 30
people who
seconds?
saw the eclipse when they were kids who are now talking about how now their eyes are so damaged from doing it.
Yeah, I saw an article from a guy who basically said, hey, don't do this. When I saw the eclipse 60 years ago, I made a point of looking up at it. He goes, and every day since then for 60 years, the center of my right eye, when I look at something, it's just sparks and dots and floaties, and they're there forever.
So it makes everything better.
Yeah, except for the fact he can't see straight on what he's looking at. If he's using his right eye, he's got to look from the side of things.
Why? You just look at all the sparkly, cool things.
All right, kids. So the lesson learned here is if you're going to stare at the eclipse on Monday, make sure you get those eclipse glasses or you make your own pinhole viewer or something like that. Please do not burn your eyes out.
Don't be
care
Willie.
about you. I don't care about you little kids. Burn them out.
Don't be Willie.
Did you
Don't
guys
be
actually
Willie.
find eclipse glasses?
I didn't care.
Wow.
No, because the place that I was going to is already gone. I was like, fuck. So I'm just using a cereal box. I'm making pinhole viewer.
Yeah, and test them first. Sailor Poland brought up a point. Amazon didn't test them. There's a bunch of them that actually got recalled from Amazon because they weren't of the actual protection grade they needed to be. So in a lot of them, you can look at the inside arm of them. It'll describe a little bit of all of the UL certifications and things like that it would have. Make sure you go and research, and don't just take the ones you buy off some dude on a street corner and stare at the sun and burn your eyes out thinking they were good.
Yeah, my friend has a Halo helmet, and they cut out the visor and they put in an actual like welder's visor in there, so they're gonna be wearing a Halo helmet.
Yeah, and
Not
also-
all welders' visors will work too.
Yeah, not all will.
You need one that's like what? I think it said 12, 13,
12 or
16?
13 grade, something like that.
Yeah,
14 might be
Nine-
too much.
so it blocks out 99% of light. Like,
Yeah.
what's the fuck's the point of this?
I actually found Eclipse glasses completely by accident yesterday because there was a dude that was selling them outside the gas station.
Do they actually work though?
Yes, they do, because I went and actually researched, because they had all the prints and all the URLs from where it came from. So I went and researched them. They're legit.
There you go.
So it's just really dark shade screen, all right?
I don't know exactly what all is in it to save your eyesight. It's not the equivalent of like really dark sunglasses, though. Please do not think you can wear your sunglasses and look at the eclipse. Don't do it.
And also, just curious, Naki, what did you say you were making? A what now?
A pinhole?
Is that just where you have the whole thing and you just look in it and you just see the light go away?
No. So
Okay.
you could do it with a box, or you can do it with like 2 pieces of cardboard, and you just like jerry rig it. So you take 1 piece of cardboard and you put literally a pinhole, just one, nothing more. You don't need anything else, and you have a surface that it'll come down and you can see it through the reflection. So you're just not looking directly at it.
There's a reflection now?
It's because have you ever seen pinhole cameras?
Yes.
No.
So it's similar to that. I think you need a mirror. I have the instructions to do it.
There's some
Don't
good
do it off
ones
the top of my
online.
head.
Just look up a homemade eclipse viewer, and it'll show you how to make it.
Yeah. The only I'm pretty sure we're safe for our animals, for the cat, to not look directly at the sun.
Yeah, so
we
that
might need to
whole
put up
that
some
whole
shades.
warning's a bit overblown. Of protect your animals. How often does your cat or your dog stare at the sun right now? I
My
mean,
cat just stares out the window constantly, so it's just like I just got to make sure that the sun isn't in direct view. But they're saying Chicago's going to have rain and clouds tomorrow, anyways. So I'm honestly not super concerned.
look, I'm not super concerned because my dog, when he looks out the window, he doesn't just stare straight up at the sun and be, "Hey, it's a sun." He's not going to care.
And who are those idiots that say dogs can't look up? Have you never held up a treat
What?
for a dog?
Wait, what?
You never heard that?
I've never heard that.
You've never
Willie,
heard
that's
that?
a joke from a movie.
What movie?
It's literally a running joke in Shaun of the Dead.
No.
Yes,
I haven't
it
seen
is.
Shaun of the Dead in forever. I'm not even gonna lie.
The gun behind the bar is fake, and dogs can look up.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
Who the fuck
literally
thinks
a
that?
joke from a film.
My memory is not
Well,
the
there are
best. I
the-
took a lot of codeine.
Well, there's a lot of people who think that the Earth is flat, so there's that.
Yeah, there's a
Are
lot
you,
of
are you
stupid
really getting
fucking
me started on
people.
that? Are you really getting me started on that?
Are you a flat earther?
No.
Oh god.
I hate people like that. Like, are you that dumb?
It's a conspiracy theory, Willie. Wake up your mind, man.
I mean, you saw the layout of how the map is really supposed to be, don't you?
No, I actually haven't. I don't pay attention to stupidity like that.
So apparently, North Pole is the center of the flat Earth, and then Antarctica is on the outside edge, pretty much, and all the world's kind of just flat out through there. And apparently, Antarctica is a 150-foot wall that holds all the water in.
Well then.
And the army of the dead out.
Sure, I thought it was just that's just the end of the Earth. I don't know. I'm not a flat Earth expert.
Makes as much sense as the rest of their bullshit.
My favorite, I'm pretty sure it's photoshopped, was something on Facebook from like the Flat Earth Society saying they're flat earthers all around the globe.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, it's pretty
Because
good.
they're
I'm
just
sure
that
someone
stupid.
I'm sure someone photoshopped the shit out of that, but it's pretty damn funny.
I believe that used to actually be on their Facebook page until somebody pointed it out, because they're just that fucking stupid.
That's fantastic.
Allegedly, the flat Earth continues past Antarctica towards infinity.
Oh yeah, and gravity doesn't exist to them too.
That was from Sailor Poland, and Low Life Otaku says, "What's worse, flat Earth or hollow Earth, or inverted Earth theory?"
My brain hurts.
Oh my god. Yeah,
They're
but the
all-
thing is, no such thing as gravity. The flat Earth's just moving at 9.8 meters per second squared, constantly up.
Sure.
Oh,
I guess
physics.
we have infinite amount of up.
The physics behind that don't work. Oh.
I just curious about people who think that, like, have you ever taken a like physics 100? You know, like something that's required.
I had to
The
take.
type of people that think that can't balance their checkbook, much less take a physics course.
I had to take 2
Well, those
physics
things are very
courses in
tiny.
college.
Hard to
so-
balance it on your finger.
Oh, I see what he did there. I
See? See?
But I guess, look at the time, we probably do need to roll in and do some actual news now. Enough on this Eclipse bullshit. Let's do the news.
And aren't
Live
rich people the
from
ones
the
that have
ATGN
checkbooks?
studios on the internet. It's the news of the week.
I totally just played him off with a bump, and I love it.
It's all good. And one more thing, working at a grocery store. Fuck you people that use checks. Just get cash or a card, you
Wait.
pieces of shit.
Oh, man, they can use a check. It's just a
but
pain
checks
in the
are-
ass.
Checks are liable. Checks are actual sources of.
Yeah.
Because I pay my rent with a check. I pay for therapy with a
I'm
check.
talking about grocery stores though. Someplace where you probably like there's better methods to pay than with a check. Means you gotta
No,
write
there's
it all out.
faster. There's faster methods of paying,
No,
but that doesn't
I said
necessarily
what I
mean that
said.
it's a better.
Yeah, they're not better. They're all the exact same because you're paying with legal tender. Just there's just different ways of doing it. Now, grocery stores make it a pain in the ass to pay with a check. That's on the store.
Because anybody could just have a piece of paper. Oh, here's my check.
That's
No,
the
you need
problem.
your driver's license. We need your phone number. Means I gotta write shit down. If you don't write your shit
Look,
down,
the only thing I write checks for is my homeowners association dues quarterly. Other than that, my checkbook sits in a drawer and never gets used. Everything else is done via like bill pay through my bank or via a credit card.
And then there's those people who ask you to write out their check. Like, are you?
Actually, there's some when I was younger, when you would go to say the commissary or something like that, you could just hand over the check and they would swipe it through the thing. It would print the values and the pay to order on there, and literally all you do is then sign it. So yeah, it's possible.
Huh. Sailor Poland just enlightened me on our Illinois toll system. You can pay your toll with the check. He does it if the driver behind him is an asshole.
Oh, that's a totally awesome fuck you move. I love it.
That's great.
I did not know that. I have an iPass like a chump, but that's good to know. That is
Apple
good
on
to
that shit?
know.
Toll roads. I do not
Hi.
fucking miss toll roads.
God, Illinois, they have increased the prices. Like, for me to get from where I live now to my car dealership is now $6 one way in tolls.
What the fuck? Yeah, we don't
So-
have toll roads in Idaho.
Yeah,
That's one of the things I do not miss about Illinois.
Once when we were road tripping, we turned off tolls, and that literally changed nothing for distance, because there's no toll roads outside of Illinois, maybe in Indiana and Wisconsin, but I think outside of here, like, there really isn't the toll roads.
They're
that we have.
basically east of you.
Yeah.
Going west, they go away.
Yes.
I mean,
Wonderful.
I've only seen one toll road in my state, and
I
that's it.
apologize. Apparently,
that's
the
at the,
apocalypse is happening outside.
Oh fuck yeah! So Chris, didn't you already hit the button about the news?
I already hit the button about the news. So I'll just do my news story first, because
Sorry, Chris.
no, you're good. You're good. I'll do my news story first, then I'll pass it off to some other folks. Some sad news for any of you that might have been fans of the Mass Effect franchise last night. It had been long rumored that Mass Effect Andromeda sucked, so EA was dropping it. Well, yeah, it pretty much became official last night. The game developer chose to deliver bad news to fans on Saturday evening via its official blog, confirming that it would not create, quote, any more single-player or in-game story content for the game. What does that mean? All those dangling plot threads they left at the end of Mass Effect Andromeda not being done as DLC like the original plan was. Evidently, it will all be shuffled to their upcoming comics and novels, and my note aside, the stuff they're going to cancel because they already canceled the game and its future spin-offs. So what does that mean? It means EA screwed up BioWare. Who would have thought?
Means
Who'd
more
have
people to
thought
work
that?
on Anthem.
Well, see, here's the thing. The A team is working on Anthem. The Edmonton studio has been working on Anthem for years. They moved this to the Montreal studio. This was the B team. think of Mass Effect Andromeda. And there's a whole bunch of different articles you read in Kotaku and various other gaming tech blog sites out there that have talked about the problems the studio had with Mass Effect Andromeda. Technically, they were working on it for 4 years. It was really only about 18 months worth of work it comes down to. It was a very troubled production. That troubled production turned into a clunky game that had pretty bad facial animations, that took lots of patches that will now no longer have any more story content coming towards it, which is really a bummer, because if you played Mass Effect Andromeda and you're a Mass Effect fanboy like myself, there's some dangling plot threads you really want revealed, and the promise of being like, oh, we'll do it in comics and novels just rings hollow, because if the game's not making you money, why are you going to make the comics and novels that continue the story too?
So how
what
well
you're
did the
telling
game
me-
sell, though?
It was profitable, but it was panned critically, which was part of the problem. It did not sell as many as they expected. Their internal testing and things like that, they were expecting it to come in about an 80 to 85% when it came to ratings. Realistically, Mass Effect Andromeda came in, I want to say the Metacritic rating was somewhere like 7, something like that. Which, while isn't terrible, it does not live up to the Mass Effect standard. Because Mass Effect 2 and 3, some of my favorite games of all time. This, not so much.
You're not looking at the real problem here.
That stinks.
The real problem is they gave you a game with a story, and then they took away some of that story so we can sell it to these assholes later.
Yes.
That's the real problem.
Yes, and that's the trend you've
so-
seen with a lot of games lately, as,
Yeah.
instead of giving you the full game, we'll just sell you DLC a little further down the road.
Sailor Poland's Rescue. You got that. Low Life Otaku says, could abandoning Mass Effect mean a new Dragon Age?
They're doing that right now, supposedly. They're working on Dragon Age.
The last one was Inquisition, right? Or was
I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
this one after,
No,
right?
that was it.
Or no?
Nope.
Oh, okay. But so if could BioWare take Mass Effect back then?
Well, BioWare is owned by EA, so
Oh, LLJK.
Yeah.
Sorry.
so they've never left it. It's just that EA is the studio that bought BioWare. Was it before Mass Effect 2 or before Mass Effect 3? I can't remember. I think it was before Mass Effect 2.
I think it was before, because that's when they went multi-platform, right? And they also released.
I believe so.
And they went back and released Mass Effect 1 for the PS3, I believe.
Yeah, so
That
sorry.
was well after.
Sorry, Chris. No, you're a Mass Effect fanboy.
I know, it's one of my favorite game series of all time, so it's kind of a shame to see that this is the way it goes out. I guess the Reapers did make it to the Andromeda Galaxy, guys.
Dang
Not with a
it.
bang, but with a very, very wet whimper.
That sucks.
I don't remember.
Fucking Catwoman story in Arkham City was the worst story of that DLC bullshittery. Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember it, to be honest, but it's probably just as well.
I was
I
going to
do
say
remember you
that's
had to
because
pre-order
it
it.
was bullshit.
Yeah, if you pre-ordered it, you got the little Catwoman prologue thing. I remember Arkham City, if that's what we're talking about.
And I never even
Yeah.
played the Catwoman story parts.
I mean,
Arkham City was really good.
it was fun.
All right, so Naki, what do you got for us this week?
So my news of the week is that David Tennant and Michael Sheen are going to be playing Aziraphale and Crowley in the Good Omens miniseries. Good Omens is a book done by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I believe it was Neil Gaiman's first novel after being introduced through comic books. And it is one of my favorites. I have a physical copy on my shelf behind me. I have an audiobook copy that I just finished listening to with a full cast. And I'm really excited because David Tennant is going to be playing Crowley, who is the agent from Hell, and Michael Sheen will be playing Aziraphale, who is the agent from Heaven. And basically, they're trying to... The son of Satan has been born, and there was a mix-up at the hospital, and they're watching the wrong kid turn into the son of Satan. And it's a really fun story. It's a really interesting take on the apocalypse. So I recommend it. And to see David Tennant play Crowley is actually really exciting to me, because I think he'd make a really good Crowley, especially after seeing him as Kilgrave in Jessica Jones. So I don't know if any of you guys have read
You
Good
forgot
Omens.
Scrooge McDuck.
He's also Scrooge McDuck, which if you guys have not watched the first episode, which is for free on YouTube, Amazon, and
Google Play.
Google Play, the DuckTales reboot was the first episode was really good. So I'm excited.
So they're
I like
going
that
down
Launchpad is in it.
So they're going down the crack rock route and saying, "Here, the first hit's free, but you got to pay for the rest."
Well, yeah,
There you
I mean,
go.
it's like
Yes,
3 months
basically.
until it continues again, I think, as well.
And we got.
Yeah, I
Oh.
don't think that they're. What?
Awkward silence.
What?
Awkward silence. Yeah, I read the wiki. I think I might have read Good Omens in high school. It sounds very familiar.
It came out in 1990.
So yeah, I could have read
that
it in high
was
school.
It's really good. Like I said, I recommend it. It's a fun book. It's a fun take on the apocalypse. It's not super serious in itself. Terry, if you've read any of Terry Pratchett, you could tell
Yeah.
his influence, as well as Neil Gaiman's influence in on it, and like how they wrote it together was really good.
They both love
it's one of
Douglas
those
Adams.
books- Yes, very much so. So it's very cheeky. It's very British. It's very, it's good. It's a good read. It was one of those books that it took me a minute to get into. I'm not gonna lie. Just because they did so much background that it took me I would space out because I have ADHD problems. And but once the meat of the story hits and you start realizing, oh, that's the son of the Satan, not that kid. Shit. It's good. It's one that I'm highly recommending to check out. And so they've been doing like fan casting for it too, on the Nerdist website.
Nice.
Of course, my computer was like, nah, no.
I'm sorry, it's like what?
No.
Okay,
So
just
Neil
make sure.
Gaiman is going to be writing is going to be helping out with the script. Terry Pratchett has passed on, so, but the other fan cast, or some of the fan casting for Crowley was Tom Hiddleston and Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, who plays Jaime in Game of Thrones. Also Anthony Mackie. Aziraphale was
Anthony
Martin
Mackie
Freeman.
played Jamie?
No. What? Anyways,
He's not an Avenger.
Aziraphale
His real name is Clarence.
was Martin Freeman, Simon Pegg, Christoph Waltz.
Oh, Simon
And then-
Pegg would have been good.
For Adam, Thomas Barbuska from Wet Hot American Summer, which I never saw.
It's really weird. And all the spin-offs are weird, but fun.
Yeah, and the follow-up 10 years later one that I just finished watching all of that was hilarious.
Pepper, Sky Jackson from Disney Channel. Don't know who she is. Wensleydale, Owen Vaccaro from Daddy's Home. I haven't seen that. Brian was Hudson Young from Fresh Off the Boat. I think he would be an adorable Brian. I don't know if you've all watched that show. It's fun. For War, they're saying Natalie Dorman or Dormer. Sorry, not Dorman. Dormer. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's Stephanie Beatrice, she plays Rosa. Meghan Markle. Famine to be played by Leon Robinson. Pollution to be played by Stephen Yeun from
That would be funny. Walking Dead and Voltron.
Thank you. And Death, they're saying Peter Serafinowicz or Idris Elba.
Peter Serafinowicz would be great.
Idris
Elba, I don't know. When does he do? He never gets to do humor.
Yeah. He will, he had his moments in Pacific Rim.
I mean, it could be great just for that, just to see him playing, a godlike character and getting to have a little bit of comedy.
Yeah, I think he plays serious so well, but if you see him in interviews and stuff like that, like I feel like he would be amazing in comedy. But maybe he has, and I just haven't seen him in anything. But yeah, so that's some of the fan casting too. I thought that was kind of cool. So that's what I got. I thought that was really cool news of the week. I'm excited because I love that book. So
I need to read it again.
it's worth the time. The live cast recording is pretty good. It is cut down if you don't get because there's two versions. There's one with a reader who is very British, but he does the voices very well, and then there's also the live cast recording that's condensed, so it's not the full story. Both are good.
I can't listen to those. I have to read it. Books on tape don't stick in my head.
But you can listen to podcasts?
Yeah, because I don't know why, but it's conversations. And so like I'll remember like trivia points of what people talked about. But yeah, for some odd reason, I cannot listen to actual like people reading a story one paragraph in and I forget the paragraph before it. It doesn't stick in my head for some odd reason. I don't know why. I wish I could listen to books on tape. But yeah, I can't.
I can't listen to podcasts or books if I'm writing or if I have to pay attention to something.
Me too.
Like I listen to it while I'm driving, but I can't do it if I'm like writing or if I'm trying to do something else that I need to like actually pay attention to, because otherwise I'll just tune it out.
Yeah, if I'm doing we went on road trips with the ex-wife and she would have a book on tape playing from who's that one writer that does like 1,000 horror stories? He does them all as free podcasts first. He's great and he's written some great stuff. I've read his books that I really enjoyed, but I've listened to like an hour of a podcast and then I'll say, wait, so who is that character? And she's like, what are you talking about? It's the same character they've been talking about for 2 hours and I'll have no clue. Like it doesn't stick.
That's interesting. All right. Well, that's what I got.
Cool.
Tell us what your fan casting is if you have any.
There you go. Who wants to go next with their news? Rock, paper, scissors? Or just you?
I'll do mine and then Willie can wrap us up.
Fair enough.
Anthony has like 7 pieces, right?
I have 2 little ones.
I get the joke.
I think Willie's going to hurt himself.
It's a daily occurrence.
It looks like they're moving forward with what we were all hoping for, which is an Obi-Wan Kenobi standalone film. The project is in talks now to get a director. They're looking at Stephen Daldry, who, let's see, what was it? He did Billy Elliot and the Hours. So, Oscar nominated, big time director. And then, of course, the important thing being that, it's Kenobi. We would all like to see him come back. Has stated publicly that he would like to reprise the role, but because there's no script, they haven't actually greenlit the project yet. There's no actual tangible proof of this project happening yet, so no actors have even been approached, supposedly. But at least, the talks have started. So there is a chance we might get, a slightly older Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan Kenobi with that awesome beard again. Which after watching T2, which I can't fucking believe they called it that, Trainspotting 2, seeing him reprise that role like 15, 20 years later was really strange. But it's a very strange movie. But it was also kind of really cool. And so, yeah, the idea of Ewan McGregor coming back, like 20 years later and doing another Obi-Wan Kenobi story and, getting some background of where he was when he wasn't just hanging out in a desert hut waiting to hand off a weapon to a sniveling little kid. Like, I want to see what Kenobi was doing in the meantime. Like, there's so much like open space in his history that they could fill with just crazy stories. Besides what Rebels did, which the Rebels storyline was awesome, where we finally see the last showdown between Kenobi and Darth Maul, which was great. But yeah, it's something where it's another cool project to look forward to, and hopefully they keep moving forward with it and it gets greenlit. And they find a really good script, and then they keep adding to they're still looking at what Yoda and Boba Fett. Yeah, we get Yoda, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, all these side films. If Han Solo does well now that it's in the hands of Ron Howard, hopefully they'll keep moving forward with those. I like the idea of getting another Star Wars movie every year. Like, that's fantastic. More Star Wars, because the more and more we get, the more chance of the majority of it being good.
Or Star Wars if it's good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And there's people that still love the prequels, and there's good stuff in the prequels. They're just not great.
Yes.
Hey, the prequels gave us Darth Maul. Ray Park as a Sith Lord with a dual lightsaber is fucking awesome.
Yeah, but you had to deal with space politics for another 90 minutes. And trade negotiations.
Without a trade embargo.
A lot of trade embargo.
And
then,
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, that's the downside. Well, there's always some downside to the cuteness shoved into Star Wars, which we're already seeing now too.
I mean, Jar Jar was a Sith Lord, so it doesn't matter.
Liar. But in other good news, there is now new casting for the Quantum and Woody series. So Valiant, not only are they building up a movie universe, they're looking at adding television as well. And they got the Russo brothers doing a new action comedy television series adapting Quantum and Woody. So you have the guys that made freaking the Civil War, one of the best comic book movie adaptations ever, and giving them what might be the funniest duo in comics outside of Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. For those that don't know, Quantum and Woody is a pair of adopted brothers. Woody Henderson's a white guy. The brother who plays Quantum is an African-American, and they are both raised by Quantum's dad, who is an African-American. And Woody is basically a jackass. He gets in trouble all the time. He's a con man. He runs schemes, but he's also like the ultimate comedy relief. In an accident, their dad ends up kind of dying, and quantum bands get put on each of their wrists that give them superpowers. But the powers are so powerful that if they don't clang the bands together every 24 hours, they will disintegrate and die. So no matter how angry they are at each other, and these are brothers that were basically pissed off each other for I think it's 10 years at the start of the last comic, where they hadn't literally talked because pretty much Woody always screws over Quantum. Like it's an awful relationship that they have. But if they don't clang their bands together every 24 hours, they die. So they end up being reluctant superheroes, kind of. And Joel McHale from Community is in talks to join as Woody. So that is a pitch perfect casting. The Valiant universe that they're supposedly building right now with all the news, the people they've announced for the movies and stuff, adding this in as an actual comedy television series, which should be done as a comedy television series because Quantum and Woody's books are great when they're funny. There's good action in them, but they have to have humor. There's a talking goat in the books. I mean, it's not it's not a serious comic. But yeah, the
talking goat.
Yeah, but the idea of Joel McHale wearing the suit and the sunglasses and the quantum band is just hilarious. Like I hope to God they pull that off because basically no matter who they get as Quantum, the show will rest on Joel McHale as Woody because he is the heart of the storytelling for the Quantum and Woody stories. And oh man, it should be super super fun because yeah, Joel McHale's hilarious.
He's really funny. He had a book come out that I read part of. I didn't get through the whole thing because I was borrowing it from somebody. But it's a good book. It's a funny book.
Was it like a story or was it like a biography?
I think it was an autobiography.
Yeah, he's got an autobiography out, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know that I read it. I just can't retain it because I didn't finish it. So I just kind of went, But anyways. I like Joel McHale. I like him. Well, I was introduced to him from The Soup prior to Community, but yeah, The Soup was really good. I don't know. Is that still in the air?
No, it's been off the air
No,
for a couple years now, at least.
The whole channel's gone.
No, the channel's still there. They have the Kardashians. That's how that channel stays around.
Yeah, like I said, that channel's gone.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, see, I'd never seen him until Community. But yeah, when he walked on Community, I was like, oh, wow, this guy's fucking funny. But yeah, I really hope they pull that together because, yeah, that could be a fantastically funny show.
He plays the asshole really well.
Which works good for Woody Henderson.
Yes, it does.
Perhaps it does.
Because Woody's always screwing people over.
So, Willie, what you got for us, sir?
I got a story for you to start off with.
Uh-oh.
So when I first popped on this podcast, I had some things to show off at the end. Nerdblock, if you guys remember correctly.
I do.
The subscription box with a bunch of geek and nerdy shit in it. Well, back in June, I was like, I sent an email saying, hey, I never got my June Nerdblock. Just the FYI, you guys can fix that. That'd be cool. But the problem was, they sent me an email back saying, oh, well, our tracking says it's already gotten to your house, so no. I was like, but it hasn't gotten to my house. They kept arguing so they argued that fact. So like, all right, whatever. So I was wondering if the July one was even going to come. And then about mid-July, the June box showed up. I know it was the June box because a week later the July box showed up. I was like, did they just fucking lie to me and tell me?
They're like,
some shit like
just tell them it's already been delivered. We'll send it tomorrow.
So I was a little confused. I canceled it after that. I was like, I'm canceling. And July was already paid for by the time I canceled. Like, well, fuck. And I wasn't too impressed with it anyway. Fucking Terminator shot glass. Get that shit out of here. No one wants that fucking shit. They're not even cool shot glasses.
Is it just like a shot glass with Terminator's face on it?
One of them is, and one of them does have the Skynet logo, the company logo.
But it's still just like a shot glass. It's not even shaped. Oh, that's lame.
Yep. Yep. But apparently they've been having a lot more problems than just me. Because fuck you, Nerdblock. They apparently owe a lot of money to a lot of people. Apparently, let's see, Nerdblock owes Diamond and Funko $250,000 each, and New York Comic Con $150,000.
Oops.
Wow.
They filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, they definitely filed for bankruptcy.
That's a lot of money.
I
Funko
don't
keeps
know
getting
how-
hit by all these bankruptcies. Freaking Hastings owed them like $250,000 in Funkos as well.
Well, you got to imagine, everyone wants Funko stuff. Not just the Pops necessarily, but they make all the little action figures and pretty much all the little cool little $4 or $5 things you can buy. Like, oh, that's kind of cool, and toss out if you don't like it for some reason. So there's people buying
They
up
are
tons
the
of
best.
Funko inventory. Tons of it. So I'm sure...
I mean, I could read out this list of people they owe money to, but I don't think we want to be here till like 1:30.
No,
It's a
probably not.
long list.
That's a long list.
Ooh, I think it goes C2E2. They owe them $146,000.
Well, that flies under the same flag as Reed, because that's Reed Pop. They're all Reed Pop.
It's probably just whatever they owed each of those individual conventions for stuff.
Mhm.
They probably broke it out that way versus to the company itself.
Showtime Media? They owe them $38,000.
Yeah, so I guess the better question is how long until these other subscription box services suffer the same fate?
I was gonna say Loot Crate lost a lot of YouTubers. So I don't know
So,
if
well, it depends how bad all their business models is, because apparently Nerdblock's business model is awful.
well, no, it just is. It depends on like, because I still get like notifications for like Julep and Fit Fab Bun, which are like fashion boxes. I know a lot of the food service ones, like Blue Apron. Blue Apron was under scrutiny for something, but then there's also Nature Box and
Don't forget
What's
the
the other
makeup ones.
yeah, well that's
But yeah,
one I
and
was saying.
there's 5 of like the food ones now too.
Yeah, they're starting to take dips like between competition and just people finding out shit about them. Like Blue Apron took a hit because apparently they had some sort of like I think it was a racist CEO or something like that.
Mm.
I don't remember. So Blue Apron took a hit from that. I know that one of them was tied to a YouTuber, fashion blogger who quit YouTube. So they lost a big hit from that. She was like a multi-million-dollar YouTuber, and she was just like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore, and quit. So it's very interesting to watch the fallout. I've never had a subscription box. I thought about doing Loot Crate, but like I know boyfriend did, and he quit after about 6 months because it was just crap.
There's too much junk in them, I think.
Yeah, like it was like $20 of junk and $5 of cool. So
Which I think seems to be the problem with a lot of them.
yeah.
You guys don't remember, but I was so angry. That's what this one item is what made me cancel the arcade block, which was the video game version of Nerdblock, or it was the same company, but it made me so angry. It was signed by I think a developer or something for the what was that, Deus Ex Mankind or one of those fucking games. I was like, what? It was like a little just like a little 8x11 picture. I was like, why do I care about this? I don't give a fuck about this game, first of all. Second of all, I don't give a fuck about any game maker. What do I care about their signatures?
Yeah. Sailor Poland says, I always thought that the loot crates were just, that stuff you can't sell on clearance? We'll take it, get rid of your inventory, sell it for pennies on the dollar. That's basically it.
You find some cool stuff on occasion that they put in them, especially the specialty ones, like the Mass Effect box that came out a few years ago. Not the Andromeda one; it was kind of crappy. The Mass Effect box was actually pretty good. I think the Funko ones that they do, like the Star Wars block, the Marvel block, where you get an exclusive pop. That's one that helps a lot of people or helps move stuff because you supposedly can't find it anywhere else. But again, aside from the pop and a T-shirt, most of the rest of them, like, this is knick-knack crap I want to throw out.
Yep. If they had and I know that the Marvel and Star Wars box, the Funko ones, you can do this, but if they did this with all of them where you could just order the one you want, you didn't have to order for a subscription, I'd be fine with that. Because then there's stuff that I want, or there's ones that I want specifically, but I don't necessarily want all of the things. I don't necessarily want a subscription I don't want it for 6 months.
And plus, one of the things I like about both, because I was getting the Marvel and the Star Wars ones, and they're both bi-monthly. So it's not every damn month that it's charging you $35. And so it was a little cooler when it showed up because it wasn't so often.
And now here's another little added shitty thing they did too. They charge your card around the 5th of every month. Around the 2nd or 1st of August, I only heard about this because I already canceled and I was happy. They shut down their website. It says, we're doing maintenance.
Oh, shit. So you couldn't go on and cancel?
No, you couldn't cancel.
You just go to your credit card company and dispute the charge then at that point.
Yeah, that's what everyone was telling.
Not doing this.
So that's a dick move.
And just like South Park says, you can always blame Canada because they are a Canadian company.
Oh, that's always true.
So is Burger King.
Burger King's no, it's not.
Yeah, corporate inversion, man. They're owned by a Canadian company now. Tim Hortons owns Burger King.
I thought you meant they originally came out in Canada. Canada didn't make Burger King. Although, who really wants to eat at Burger King now anyway?
Fair.
Can you guys hear my cat snoring, or is it just me?
It's just you.
Okay, that's good. I was just worried that it was coming through on this thing.
Well, Bachman, you can enjoy your fried chicken nipples.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Feel free to clip that on Twitch, guys. Anyways, I guess that's going to wrap up our news of the week. As we wrap things up, we do like to remind folks that the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is, in fact, part of a network of shows that you can find over at GonnaGeekNetwork.com. And each week we try to highlight one specific show to give you guys a little bit of a taste and say, hey, you guys might want to check this show out. And we toss things to one Willie Nelson to tell us all about that show. But he's not paying attention, so I'm going to tell you
I'm messing with you. I was paying attention. I got it right here. Are we good? You just throwing it to me?
I just threw it to you.
I want to say this is my favorite podcast right now, how short this is. This week, I am talking about In Defense Of, episode 39, Space for Everyone. Joined by writer Ty Gooden. I hope I said that right. We discuss diversity in science fiction across all media. Back to you, Chris.
Like we said, that was a fairly quick one. And we are starting to run out of time real quick. Before we get out of here, Naki brought something to my attention this morning that 2 years ago, we came up with the idea for a bacon album. Does anyone else remember this?
It was exactly 2 years ago today.
Amazing how well that lined up. And the title of that album was Essential Bacon with the B-side of Bacon Bits. Because if you're not a longtime viewer of the show, you might not have realized that very early on and probably throughout the early 200s of this show, we were very fixated on bacon at times. It was a running gag, and the fact that Naki would sometimes eat bacon while on the show. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think that's what started this, is you were eating bacon during the show, and we decided to make an album about bacon.
No. I had sent you, you and I were talking on G-Chat, and I was playing Mount Your Friends. And we decided that the band name was going to be called Wang Woblin, because that's what I thought of that game. Right. That game is a whole lot of wang wobbling. If you've never played Mount Your Friends, highly suggest it. Super fun times. Multiplayer mode is hard as shit. But that night we did come up with the essential bacon. I found the track list. Chris, would you like to read us what the track list is, or do you want me to do it?
Oh, I guess we should probably get into the track list. You want to take the first track, and we'll just go back and forth it?
Track 1 was the essential bacon.
Are we doing little clips of these too?
Well, there's no actual audio. We just got as far as
I
coming
can
up with
sing
the
it.
track listings. Are you gonna try
I
and...
do have my ukulele here. Hang on. I have really long nails right now.
Low Life
and-
Futaku had one we didn't have on the list. Raining bacon in the deep fried skies.
Ooh, dang.
Bonus track.
Track
Bonus
14.
That's part of the bacon bits.
Well, I mean, no, you had to cut that out because you had too many songs to fit on one disc. That's
We-
for your greatest hits when you release new unreleased stuff too.
There you go. All right, Chris. Track 2.
Track 2, Bacon Log.
There's a bacon log in the fireplace.
Oh, this is out of tune. I need to tune it first.
Talking
Track
about my
3.
voice.
Really?
Talking about my voice.
No, my mute. Track 3 is making bacon pancakes with the Hoff.
I'm trying to think what that would be.
This was about the same time he had his cheeseburger incident, if I recall
Yep.
correctly.
Yeah, I think that was right about then.
Mhm.
So I think, Anthony, you were on the show at this point, weren't you?
Yeah, I think I just started.
All right, for track 4, I'm gonna need you to do a tune of "No Sleep for Brooklyn."
Okay, so track 4, I'll go with this one next. This is also a callback to a previous set of stories on here. No bacon for Tim Tom.
It goes, "No bacon for Tim Tom."
Falcon Punch.
I love it.
Track 5 is drinking, in parentheses, bacon grease on the internet.
Whoa.
I'm guessing that would be like a Friends in Low Places. So it'd be like, drinking bacon grease on the internet.
Track 6 of hashtag dick butts and bacon.
I foresee that one like a poker face. So of dick butts and bacon.
Oh, we forgot track 7. Whoops.
Thank you,
track-
Voltar UA, for following us on Twitch. That just popped up on there.
Thanks. Track 7/8 is making bacon naked, a cautionary tale.
That's like a total eclipse of the heart thing because it's a very sad
How did we
story.
forget track 7?
I don't know. we
Well, you can just put in what's it, raining bacon in the deep fried skies. Just put that in the 7.
Or Bacon Grease Blues, as Low Life Futaku just suggested.
Or Naki in the Sky with Bacon.
So track 9 was Making Your Ears Bleed of Bacon.
I'm thinking of Metal Health. That's what I'm thinking of. Bang your head.
track 10 is
Quiet Riot.
There's
You
bacon
got
in
it
my
right.
blood.
Ooh, I got nothing on top of my head for that one.
Well, we'll move on to the
Some
next one.
country. Some country.
Track 11 is Heartbreak, and then in brackets, You Ate the Last Piece of Bacon.
That's
like
Elvis all the way.
That's like CeeLo Green's like the girl I love, that song.
The fuck you song.
Yeah, that's it.
Track 12 is Tofu Bacon is of the Devil.
Green Day.
Yeah, Green Day style.
All right.
And our final track.
This one's good. Track 13, Sexual Bacon.
Well, you missed one.
I did?
We did Tofu Bacon is of the Devil.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally, we just said it was Green Day.
Just
Oh, fine, fair enough. I'm just dumb.
But you're
All right,
also
so-
not paying attention.
So wait, what was, I'm going to make notes of this.
So,
We've got
in the show
Raining
notes, I've been adding the additional suggestions. We've had Raining Bacon in the Deep Fried Skies, Bacon Grease Blues, and Stairway to Bacon as new suggested titles to add to Essential Bacon, the album.
Anthony had one.
Oh, it was a Lola Futaku was the one who said Naki in the Sky with Bacon. That was also in the
Okay.
chat room.
Oh, okay.
That
Make sure
doesn't
we
fit
got
the LSD theme.
So the real question is, what other bacon tracks can we come up with going forward? And if you have suggestions, send them to us. Tweet ATGN Podcast or any one of us on Twitter with your suggestions, and we'll have to look at what disc 2 will be of the Essential Bacon album.
Or this could be part of the Bacon Bits album. Tell us which one it should be on, disc 2 or Bacon Bits.
Yeah, because the B-side is Bacon Bits, if we're going old school here.
I think I got
Bacon
one.
Suit Riot.
Well, now you're just making tons of other songs. I was thinking,
I want to hear that song.
I was thinking, Grease Lightning, Bacon Burnout.
Go grease lightning and burn up the quarter of a mile. Grease lightning, go. Grease
I don't know
lightning.
what you're doing.
That's from Grease. Oh my god.
First
My
of all, we
baby
can't
ran
sing.
off with my bacon.
Second of all, I'd never seen Grease.
How have you never seen Grease? Anyway,
don't
Sailor
care about
Poland
it.
says, I want to make a Bacon Bits tribute band called Spam.
God damn it.
Damn.
We're no longer friends, Sailor Paul.
Wait,
no
so
longer friends.
that can be our next goal, is after we figure out what all needs to go on Essential
no.
Bacon, then we
No.
come up with the Spam album.
No,
Spam
no,
album.
no.
Yeah. The All Things Meat Jelly album.
Meat jelly.
I much
Hooray for
prefer
Wing
meat jelly.
Goblin.
Much prefer meat jelly over Spam. Don't they have bacon Spam?
They do have different flavors of Spam. Yes, you can get different flavor. They have turkey Spam too.
That didn't answer my fucking question at all, Naki. I made a specific flavor question, and you said, well, blah, 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 blah. That's how you sound.
Well,
Do
they have
they
bacon
have
flavored
bacon
everything, so I'm going to say yes.
Oh, don't try bacon soda. It's not good.
Oh, yuck.
It's so salty going down your throat.
Well then.
Well,
That's what he
feel
said.
free to clip
No,
that.
it's Will.
Also, Twitch viewers, I don't know where to go from here other than to say, hey, we've got like 10 minutes left on our recording. Actually, 5 minutes left on our recording time. So super quick, we're going to wrap things up with a little bit called What I'm Into. So you guys each have like a minute each to tell our guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and nerdy things you've been getting into, so that maybe, just maybe, we can entice them to check it out as well. So, one Willie Nelson, what have you been getting into, sir? And what are you planning on getting into? You got 1 minute. Go.
I bought some movies, some more movies. I got Alien
Porn.
Covenant. It was pretty good. I know no porn. I don't buy it. Who pays for porn? What else I got? Oh shit, they're all the way over there. Ghost in the Shell, because I was curious about it and wanted to see it, so fuck it. And oh my god, there's that other movie with Vince Vaughn and Dave Franco. I can't remember whether they're on some kind of fucking convention office thing selling shit. And then The Wizard of Oz is 3D, because I'm a little curious about seeing how the post conversion of 3D is, and it was only like $5. So how can you go wrong with that? And I bought Wanted again, because I can't, or no, I didn't buy it in the first place. I kind of accidentally stole it. But I bought my own copy this time. It's the hardback edition, so I hope to reread that. And watch The Defenders. Could have been better, but still all right. That's all I got.
All right, I'm going to go next. I got 1 minute. Watched the first 3 episodes of The Defenders. Watched 3 more episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I'm almost done with Season 3. I played... what did I play? Oh, I played Call of Duty because I picked up the last one for dirt cheap, and it was actually kind of fun because it was a sci-fi space adventure with it. So that was kind of cool. And what else did I do that's cool? I guess that's about it. Oh, I got eclipse glasses, but I talked about at the top of the show. So hopefully I don't burn out my eyeballs tomorrow when I go and look at the eclipse. Anthony, what
Yay.
you been getting into, sir?
Took Friday off from work, so I watched all the Defenders, and it's really fucking good. It appears that Finn Jones spent a lot of his off time in either the dojo or the gym with Charlie Cox, so he looks a hell of a lot better fighting on camera. So yeah, it was whatever negative feedback there was, he did the smart thing and addressed it positively by getting better. I received a kick-ass present from one SP as a welcome to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Long Box Edition crew. He sent me issue number 1 of the new Chip Zdarsky, Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man, and he also sent me a subscription. So I'm getting those from Marvel now for the next year because SP is awesome. And then haven't been playing or doing much of anything else because if you can see on the checklist, there were 3 cards that we somehow missed. But including those 3, There are only 6 left for pacifist. So I have, was it 118 complete, 6 to go. So that's what I'll be doing today because I want to get this shit finally done. I'm tired. So many cards.
All right, and to wrap us up, Naki, what have you been getting into?
Boyfriend bought me Sonic Mania. That's fucking fun as hell.
I'm so jealous.
We finished Dirk Gently. That's a fun show. Highly recommend it. Started The Defenders, 5 episodes in. I have not been in the room for any of the Iron Fist scenes because I don't give a shit. What else have I been doing? Shit. Finished Good Omens, the audio book. Picked up Joy Luck Club and had to return it because the reader was awful. So I'm gonna just pick up the one with Amy Tan. There is going to be a new animated Batman that Sailor Poland and I have talked extensively about, but apparently Harley is a little rapey with the Nightwing, so that's a story for a different day. And we cleaned out my office and I'm in it now. Hooray!
Huzzah!
That's what I got.
All right, guys. So we're at 59 minutes and 25 seconds of recorded content. So I will wrap things up by reminding everyone that the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is, in fact, part of a network of shows you can find over at GonnaGeekNetwork.com. We stream live Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at Geeks.live. There are a variety of other shows on the network that do stream there as well. So head on over to Geeks.live at 1 p.m. Eastern as we record this for the next episode of Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Then you can come at 6 p.m. Eastern as we record this on Sunday for the Starling Tribune. And then finally at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday for PopXCast. And if you want to see the calendar of events for what's streaming this week, again, just go to Geeks.live, scroll to the bottom of the page, and you can see all sorts of live streaming content from the network. So as we wrap things up, you guys have any final thoughts for us? Anything?
I need to pee.
Finn Jones got better.
Shut up, Naki.
Oh, my heart.
Well, you hurt me first.
It broke.
We hurt everyone on this show. It's what we do is hurt people.
Hell yeah.
It's the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Here to hurt you. Come back next week and we'll hurt some more people. Live Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central.
Damn, we're getting a little rapey.
No! Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at GonnaGeek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us at atgnpodcast@GonnaGeek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at Incompetech.com.